All right, all right. Hello, hello, hello. This is Dr. Stephanie D. Barnes, and I am bringing you the word from SDB. This is part 5. I always do that when I get to part 5. I do 10. I really do know the difference between 5 and 10. But anyway, this is part 5 of the 5-part series, Mean Girls Grow Up to Be Mean Women and Mean CEOs. And I am finishing out the series on bullying in the workplace and the marketplace. And so this is the final installment of the 5-part series. On the first first segment, I talked about how bullying shows up in the workplace and the marketplace through relational aggression and social aggression. The second day, I talked about queen bees, which is the most vicious form of bullying in the workplace. Then on day 3, I talked about how bullying is glorified in the media, particularly in reality television. And then on yesterday, I talked about bully reformation, shared with you my own personal struggles with being a Miranda Priestley. I was not a queen bee, but I did have some Miranda Priestley qualities, and how I overcame those to be actually great boss, I believe, a great leader. And tonight I want to close out by talking about, what do you do when you encounter bullies in the workplace? Some really practical things about how we as leaders become the CEOs that we want others to be. So, one of the best forms of leading is through modeling, because leading at its best is using your influence to inspire others to change, to inspire others to act, to inspire others to execute, right? And so a great way to accomplish that is through modeling and through influencing behavior influencing others through your behaviors and actions. So I want to talk about 5 key things that are very important to being the CEO that you want others to be, so that you can be a part of the change that prevents bullying in the workplace and in the marketplace. So this is something that is really important for us to think about. And on the one hand, very simple. On the other hand, perhaps not so much. So the first thing is to be kind. I mean, you would think that's not anything that's all that complex, and no, it's not. Because, one of the lessons that I had to learn as a leader is that I could get, and this is an old saying, was that you can get more flies with honey than you can with vinegar. And the same thing is very true about being a great leader. I mean, we have to learn to be kind to one another. It's that simple yet that complex. The golden rule, treating others the way you want to be treated. Because one of the exercises that I do with clients when I'm trying to help them, or when I'm helping them to build their teams, or to think about the self-awareness that they need to be a better leader, to be a better CEO, is the whole concept of, what is your dream boss, what is your nightmare boss, and what's your bionic boss. So if you think about, the best boss you ever had, what are those qualities? The worst boss you ever had, what are those qualities? The good and bad of each, because the best bosses you've had still have some flaws, and the worst bosses you've ever had still have some redeeming qualities. So if you were to combine all those people together and create a bionic boss, what would that be? And the whole point of that exercise is not necessarily thinking about who you want to work for, but thinking about what type of leader do you want to be. And it's a very powerful exercise to go through, because, I'll tell you, one of the things that I had to learn was I had to be the team member I wanted my other team members to be. Because I remember when I worked in corporate America, I would be very frustrated. At a point in my career where I was very frustrated with my team, my peers, the people I worked with. Very frustrated. They weren't doing this. They weren't doing that. I was all angry and mad about what they weren't doing. And one day I decided to be the team member I wanted my team members to be. And not only did it help me to be more empathetic towards them, it helped me to model the behavior that I wanted, and it helped me to just feel better about my performance. And the thing is, as leaders, we have to be coaching leaders, coaching CEOs, meaning, we can't expect others to display the types of behaviors and actions that we want if we don't first model them. So that's the first thing, is to be kind. The second thing is to be the type of leader, again, that you want others to be. So really think about, if you were to influence others, when you are given the opportunity to lead, what can you do to ensure that the way you treat your team members is the way you want to be treated? Because I do believe in karma. I do believe in, the vibes you put out there, the energy that you emit comes back to you. If you put negative energy out there, then you get negative energy back. When you are putting negative energy into others, the people you work with, the people that work for you, when you put positive energy into them, that comes back to you, either through them or through others. So that's the second thing. So the first thing is just really to be kind. The second thing is to be the type of leader you want others to be. The third thing is, particularly as it relates to relational aggression and social aggression, be courageous enough to stop gossip and degradation in its tracks. Because here's the thing, gossip needs an ear. Drama needs an audience. And so if you're in the workplace, if you're in the marketplace, and you hear a bully beginning to denigrate another person, particularly another woman, stop it in its tracks. Say, you know what? That's either, tell them it's not nice to say, or many times what I do, rather than to specifically come out and say, well, you shouldn't say that, I just redirect the conversation to something that is positive. Because you can always find something positive. They may indeed have asinine qualities. They may indeed be, I get the saying, where they elevated and go all the way up to the top. They may have some cognitive difficulties or cognitive deficits, as I call them. They may indeed have that, but you don't have to harp on that. And you can find things about other people, something positive, and just redirect the conversation. Because if someone is always coming to you to spread nastiness about a coworker, about a colleague, about a vendor, about a client, or whatever, if you give them an audience, then they're going to continue to come back. But if they come to you and you either redirect or you tell them out plainly, look, I don't want to hear that. There's no place for that in our conversation. Then they're not going to continue with that. But if you give it an audience, then that's what you're going to get back. So the fourth thing is to actually be an advocate for others. Be an advocate for other women. Be an advocate for those where you see that they are being bullied. Because sometimes you have to step up and be the person to say, you know what, this is not acceptable, and we're not going to tolerate that. And it always takes that one person, or it always takes that one person to stand up and say, this is not acceptable, and then you kind of begin the ripple effect. Because sometimes people are waiting on a leader to step up and lead them in their advocacy. And so as great leaders, we have to be the ones who are willing to stand up and advocate for those who either can't advocate for themselves, or where we are observing that they're actually being discriminated against, or they're being bullied, or they're being otherwise mistreated. As a great leader, when you see injustice, when you see that someone is not being treated fairly, or that they're being bullied, or someone else is not being treated kindly, then as a leader, it's your responsibility to step up and say, no, we're not going to do this. This is unacceptable, and don't allow it to go. And then the fifth thing is to be a catalyst for other women in particular. Because I've been talking about this throughout this series in the context of women bullies in the marketplace. Because of course there are men bullies, and there are men who bully other men, there are men who bully women. This is not an issue that's specific to women, but I have been talking about it in the context of women CEOs. And we have to be the catalyst to break the chains of harmful competition and break the power of queen bees. You know, at some point we have to create opportunities for others ourselves. And you know, one of the things I've been very blessed to do, and one of the things I'll always be the most proud of, when I did work for a company, when I began to see that there were not other women at the table other than me, that I used the influence that I did have to try to create opportunities for others. And that's something that's really very important. And it's important not only for empowerment of other reasons, but also empowerment of yourself, because business is about building alliances. You cannot do business by yourself. You got to have somebody to sell your product to. You got to have somebody to work with. I mean, you just can't do it by yourself. You know, it's a collaborative effort. And so it's important to create alliances where you can better position yourself for the things that you want. You know, because if you're out there trying to do things by yourself, it's just you. The more people you build up, the bigger your team is, the bigger your alliance is, and the bigger your advocacy is. But the more people you destroy, the more you're out there alone without advocates who can support you. So it's really very important to be an advocate for others, and to be that catalyst. Be the catalyst that says, hey, you know what, this is what we need in our environment. It's not fair how you're treating this person. Or be the catalyst to say, you know what, you need to really think more critically about how you're talking to people, how you're treating people, because we need to be a better team. So, you know, when you succeed, when you show up, you don't show up just for yourself. When you advocate, you're not advocating just for yourself or just for that person. You're empowering others, because sometimes all it takes is to have a leader to step up to the plate and, you know, advocate for somebody else, be the catalyst for change, and then you get that momentum. And one of the things that you want to strive to do is to be the type of leader that truly is a catalyst for change, a catalyst for better things, a catalyst for progression. So I'm not going to talk long tonight. I did want to just close out the series, and because I've got to actually get ready. I've got a big talk in the morning, big speech in the morning, so I need to go over my notes and kind of get my mind right. I have a special playlist that I have put together that kind of pumps me up right before my talk, so I've got to go and get myself organized and otherwise be ready for tomorrow, so that I can do a great job. Fortunately, I have two talks tomorrow. I talk at 9:30 in the morning, and then I talk at, I think, 11:20. Two different places. So this is going to be a logistics challenge. Hopefully there are no major traffic issues, and I can easily get back and forth between the locations. They're about 15 minutes apart. So I am prayerful that tomorrow all my little logistics is going to work out well, and I won't have trouble being two places on tomorrow. But I am glad that you joined me tonight. I know that for those of you who are watching it live, it's a Friday night, so you are probably or many people are out getting their party on Friday night, but I do appreciate those of you who did join. I am so grateful that you were able to catch the live broadcast, and for those of you who will catch it later, thank you so much for watching. And again, this is a 5-part series, so I encourage you, if you've not already had a chance to, go back to, thank you so much, go back to the first segment and catch all 5 of them and share this, because the dialogue that I hope to create in this series is something that's very well needed, because, you know, bullies need an audience. Bullies need other people to not have the courage to stand up and say it's unacceptable. And until we acknowledge the fact that bullying, or how bullying shows up in the workplace and the marketplace, and until we have the courage to actually do something about it, it will proliferate. And the thing is, we have to make our living some kind of way, either whether that's going to a job or providing services or products in the marketplace. And we've got to deal with other people. And it is certainly so much better when we're doing this in an environment that is otherwise healthy for us and is a positive place to be. Nobody wants to make their living in a toxic environment. We have to be very honest that bullies create a toxic environment that not only has a personal effect on the people in that environment, but ultimately hurts the bottom line of the company. And one of the things that I do as a leadership expert and as a business coach is always make sure that the focus is on the business case for the behavior and the action, because you don't become a great leader just because it's nice and you want to be nice to people. You become a great leader because it impacts and improves the financial performance of your company. And the thing is, bullies cost companies money, whether that's a big organization or a small business or an entrepreneurial enterprise. Bullies hurt the financial performance because the happier people are, the better their interactions are, the better their relationships are, the more productive they're going to be, and the better the company or the business is going to perform. So this is a business issue. This is not about, we want to sing Kumbaya and be all happy around the fireplace at the campfire at work. This is about, we want to create business environments business environments that are conducive for high-level performance, creativity, innovation, all of the things that are needed to be successful as a going concern. Because, like I say, bullies cost companies money because they create toxic environments, and then sometimes they just negatively impair performance because they slow things down. So it's not only just creating this environment where people are unhappy, but it's actively working against the productivity of the organization, because bullies, create all kind of bottlenecks in organizations and companies because, they're trying to deal with all these foolish issues among personnel. So I'll get off this soapbox and stop beating this dead horse. It's not a dead horse. This is a horse that unfortunately is very much alive. And I do hope that you share this with your friends. And like I say, this is part 5 of the 5-part series, Mean Girls Grow Up to Be Mean Women and Mean CEOs. So if you've not caught the first 4 segments, please go back on my timeline and you can find it. Eventually, I am going to get these on YouTube. And you can look at this video series and others that I've done on various coaching and business topics at bit.ly/Stephanie on YouTube. It just gets you right straight to my YouTube page. You don't have to do a search for it. So bit.ly/Stephanie on YouTube. And the final thing that I'll say is, if you either are a bully, you are the queen bee, or you have some personal interaction opportunities for improvement, and you would like some coaching tools and strategies around that, I of course encourage you to reach out to me. I would love to be a part of that solution for you. You can text me at 228-238-7997 and just say, I need help, and I will give you a call and figure out how I can help you. So again, that's 228-238-7997. I encourage you to reach out if you need some help, and all you need to do is put your first name, last name, and I need help, and I will give you a call and figure out how we can give you some tools and strategies that help you to be a more effective leader and have improvements in your personal interactions. So with that, I'm going to sign off. It has been my pleasure. This is Dr. Stephanie D. Barnes bringing you the word from SDB. This is part 5 of the 5-part series, Mean Girls Grow Up to Be Mean Women and Mean CEOs. And I look forward to connecting with you in the next series. So I haven't decided what I'm going to talk on next, but I do look forward to bringing you solutions or just topics that help you to think about how you can improve your work environments, whether that is on the job or in your business. So again, thank you so much. It has been my pleasure, and I look forward to connecting with you in my next topic. So thank you so much. Bye-bye.